Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Video shows what happened at the wreck that occurred Monday in Puerto Rico. Also tonight, more money and more eligibility as the food assistance program swells. And students hit the computers and the classroom as blended learning starts at public schools. In sports, school spirit runs high on the white sands of GARAPAN. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
A meal replacement smoothie is a great way to keep your fitness goals on track during the holiday season, and they taste great, fast, and easy. The December smoothie of the month is Minty Java Choco Chip, and it's just $5. Check out the Shake Cafe, Gold's Gym, Garapan.
It's gonna look a little different in here. Your favorite spot might not be exactly where it used to be. Being next in line might feel a little less like next in line. And our smiles might come with a little extra shine. But McDonald's is ready to take your order, as safely as we can.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. Police say they are still investigating a deadly accident on Middle Road. Video may give them some clues about what happened.
One man died in the accident. Police say he was in the back of a Honda Ridgeline pickup truck that was struck by a garbage truck. Driver of the garbage truck says he was heading south to their office on Middle Road when the pickup truck heading north attempted to make a left turn. Driver told our photographer that his light was green. In this video taken from across the street, we see the Honda truck come to a stop in the left-hand turn lane. We then see 3 cars go through the intersection. We can't see the color of the traffic light, but the Honda appears to have stopped because of a red light. Honda then accelerates and proceeds to make a left turn going towards Smiling Cove Marina, and that's when the blue trash truck enters the intersection and collides with the Ridgeline. Individual in the back of the pickup truck died on impact. The dump truck had 2 individuals that were checked on site and released with no injuries. Late this afternoon, police said that traffic investigators had seen the video and that the accident is still under investigation.
Labor Secretary appears before members of the Senate for updates on the PUA program. Sally Lemus reports.
The Senate Committee on Judiciary, Government Law, and Federal Relations held their first meeting today with Labor Secretary Vicky Beneventi as their guest. Senators questioned the process of recovery of overpayments from the first batch.
We contact them and let them know, inform them that they have been overpaid. This is the amount that must be repaid. And 99% of the time, the applicant is in full understanding of why he or she was overpaid, and they have been starting to pay it back. We don't have too many issues with overpayments being repaid, Senator. So one thing about our applicants, they understand that the errors were made mostly by themselves.
As of January 31st, 2020, the Department of Labor reported a total of 2,018 overpayment cases. This includes misfiled earnings, ineligible claimants, and out-of-state cases. 312 cases have been identified as misunderstanding of qualified aliens, and more than 1,000 cases are out-of-state cases. Currently, more than $14 million have been collected from overpayment cases.
The challenge is not to push anyone into a poverty level. If someone received a $15,000 overpayment, we're not going to ask them to pay back the whole $15,000 now, today. We're going to consider what is their income, what is their situation, if they're employed or not, and work with them on the conditions for the overpayment.
Beneventi says they are ready for the second round of PUA.
We're ready. Well, one thing I am worried about is, again, it's still COVID-19 is still out there, and that is why we're very strict about people coming into our offices. We don't allow them in until they've done the protocols and sanitation, wear the mask, and keep your distance behind the plexiglass. And even up to now, many applicants, because of the stress they're under, I think, forget to wear their mask or forget to use the hand sanitizer. And our team is constantly reminding our clients, please take a minute to do this. So the challenge is health and safety precaution. The challenge is helping our clients get the documents. We're here to help them. This is what we were hired to do, is to help people get jobs, and if they don't have jobs, help them get unemployment benefits.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemus.
Congressman Gregorio Khalili Sablan recently announced additional funding for food aid. This means an increase in food stamps and income eligibility standards. Take a listen.
The Nutrition Assistance Program has increased eligibility standards and monthly allotments. This was made possible from the Consolidated Appropriations Act 2021.
We received $14 million from the Consolidated Appropriations Act, and that has allowed us to combine our existing funds with the additional $14 million, and we are able to increase the income standards and also increase the benefit allotments. This will be available through September 2021, so we're hoping that we might be able to get additional money after that.
The maximum benefit allotment for Saipan will be in line with Guam's guidelines.
For benefits, of course, we have the differential allotments. We have increased for Saipan. We increased Saipan's benefits to the level of Guam's FY 2021 cost of living adjustment. So that's $300 for household size of one. It's the same as what we're issuing for Saipan. It's higher for Tinian. And of course, the highest in our differential allotments is Rhoda and the Northern Islands.
Macaranas explains the increased level of the maximum income guidelines.
In addition to the funding that we have our block grant from fiscal year 2020. We have our current grant for fiscal year 2021. We have the enhanced grant, the enhanced SNAP grant. We have leftover money there. So all these combined, we're looking at an expense of about $22 million in benefits. Because of the additional funding, the $14 million, we are able to increase our income guidelines to the 100% poverty level.
This means that those who got kicked out of the program last October may be eligible again. And this time, NAP will not be asking to claim the stimulus and FPUC payments.
The law specifically says the FPUC, so if you're receiving other than that, then we would ask for the income that you're receiving. For example, PUA, it was not explicit of being excluded, so we would have to count the PUA income.
Applications are now being accepted at the JTV building in Aslito. The forms are available online but must be submitted in person. For more information, you may visit cnmynap.gov.mp or call 237-2800. I'm Sally Lemus for KSPN News.
That's excellent news, Sally. Kids in the public school system are finally back in the classrooms. Our Sally Lemus checks out their first day of school.
I like school better here.
The CNMI public school system reopened their campuses on Tuesday. All elementary, middle, and high schools made the transition from remote learning into blended learning. Blended learning is the practice of using both in-person and online classes. GTC Elementary School Principal Reina Camacho says they have been preparing for this moment for a very long time.
The elementary schools, they're really into collaborative learning, group work, so a lot of our furniture was set for small groups, and so we did have to put up some dividers to be able to meet the requirements of the guidelines. And so dividers in the classroom, 6 feet spacing, sanitizers everywhere in every room, and just a lot of I guess just following what all the agencies are following here, but a little trickier with the kids because we have to think about staggered lunchtime, staggered recess, just to give them some time outside as well.
GTC has a population of more than 300 students, and they are split into 2 cohorts. Cohort 1 goes to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, while Cohort 2 takes Wednesdays and Fridays. On Mondays, all students attend online classes. STUCO President Marlena Benjamin says online classes were great, but it just wasn't the same.
It makes me feel very happy to do face-to-face because I couldn't see other people. Like the cameras are off, they're not speaking, but yeah, no.
Reef Sablon, a kindergarten student, says he wasn't able to play with his friends because of the social distancing, but he is happy to be back in school.
How was your first day of school? How do you like it so far?
It took for a long time.
It took a long time, yeah. Are you happy? Are you happy to be back in school?
Yeah.
In Tanapag Middle School, Principal Hiro Rios states each classroom has about 10 to 13 students. All safety protocols are in place, and if students don't listen, there are disciplinary actions.
Technically, just like with any misbehavior in the classrooms, they normally are referred to the office. We try to find out what's going on and what we can do to help support the kids. We try to make them understand our reasoning, our purposes behind all these protocols and all these restrictions, that they have to learn how to get used to. And then, help support them from there. If a student is found to constantly, or deliberately not follow the protocols, I have to make that choice of probably keeping them at home sometimes, just like anything else. Sometimes you get suspended. Sometimes you go, that we might put you in detention. We do have an area for that where they are separated until they practice. So, like anything else.
But Rios does allow her students to take a breather every once in a while.
I do allow my teachers to give some flexibility for students to walk out the classroom sometimes if they're having a hard time with their mask on, because having this on the entire day can be very difficult. So students are allowed to, ask their teachers if they could step out and just take a breather, count 30 seconds or so, then go back in and proceed with class.
KSPN spoke with some 8th grade students who tells us some of the challenges of attending school during a pandemic.
How do you feel coming back to school?
I feel, well, at first I didn't have a confirmed opinion on it because with my time in quarantine, I've honestly become introverted. But once I came back, I was like, this is actually pretty nice. It's nice to be around people again. So I liked it.
I say it's better to learn here at school because there's no distraction and internet's fast.
What is one of the challenges about being in school during a pandemic?
That we have to be 6 feet away. We can't touch anything. And others always have to hand sanitize constantly. Yeah.
What about your mask? Do you have any problems with your mask being on all the time?
It's always hot, miss, and yeah, I can get difficult breathing in mask.
How was your experience with the virtual learning?
It was pretty hard because sometimes you'll go through sometimes it'll be difficult because your internet and stuff like that, and it's hard because if you need help on work and your teacher's not there to help you, so yeah.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemis.
The Northern Marianas College is also back in session, and NMC Interim President Frankie Elliptico gives us an update on what to look forward to this spring semester.
1,147 students have registered for the spring 2021 semester, which includes a combination of face-to-face classes and online classes.
And a lot of our students, when we did a survey last semester, they indicated, they were glad that, their safety was prioritized, but they're also starting to feel some Zoom fatigue. So they're really happy to see some of the face-to-face activities coming back, because although they were glad that we didn't cancel their classes or we didn't cancel anything really, but they're just longing for that face-to-face interaction with their instructors, with other students, and with the rest of the college community.
But it's not only the students that are glad to get some more face-to-face instruction. Elliptico says these teachers are now back at 80 hours, a schedule that hasn't occurred since 2019.
The Northern Marianas College, through the assistance of the CARES Act funds from the first one and the second one, is allowing us to be able to resume 80 hours operation here at the institution. And a lot of the funds that is allocated to, or that we have access to, was given as an allocation from the governor's funds. So the governor was allocated a certain amount of funds, and he distributed that to Northern Marianas College. So that's the funds that we're using to help us with resuming 80 hours operations.
Also included with the CARES Act funding is direct aid to students who were affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Some funding for emergency costs, such as tuition, food, housing, healthcare, or childcare.
The last time it was about, we distributed 700 and then 250, so total about 1,000 total last semester. So we're looking at about the same amount this time around. But we're still working out the calculations, because it will also depend on whether the institution spreads it out over the semester or gives it as a one-time payment. So,
even with reduced hours for teachers and staff in 2020, Elliptico says not a single class was canceled, allowing students to continue the path to finishing the semesters and degrees. Coming up, the mayor's office is taking control of the stray animals on island. Find out how after the break. It's the Dog Control Program, a way of...
Winigi PHI Pharmacy in Gofadahi, Ihinim Lomo.
Our complete line of pharmaceuticals and lowest prices ensure you get the treatment that you deserve.
Our compassionate, friendly, multilingual staff will take the time to get to know you, explain your medications to you, and answer any questions that you may have.
Ngere ayor sumaye ukalweres ren, kutsu wayor sa feye emal evalusyo klalyam weres.
Inumin ang inyong gamot ayon sa inireseta ng inyong doktor at alinsunod sa bilin ng inyong pharmaceutical.
We accept most insurance, but in case you don't have coverage, we offer cost-effective generic drugs.
PHI Pharmacy, your lifelong partner in health. PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Buenos dias, Kiko. Kaigizu ginigi entrada ni Pacific Docomo. Bangof adjudante isti idocomo staff gwini. Zambangof maudik exhibition niya. Undang kulo na si Jus maasi. Niu na judazidu after manu para be download sa babina city isti ski lino app. Esta ana librano ju isti za parafa di babi fifila ni para be panapasi sa pat babi take off ni sisidokto. Docomo Pacific in Guayzaha, Pago, za ni mamayla na tempo. Si Jus maasi.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The Commonwealth Ports Authority is implementing additional public health measures at its ports. President Joe Biden issued an executive order that promotes safety in domestic and international travel on January 21st, 2021. The guidelines were implemented on January 29th with the Centers for Disease Control's emergency order, which requires all persons to wear a mask over their mouth and nose when traveling and while at transportation hubs. These hubs include airports, bus terminals, marinas, seaports, and other ports and terminals. In accordance with the executive order, the Commonwealth Ports Authority has expanded its efforts to ensure any individual on a seaport or airport premises wears a mask. There are certain exemptions to wearing a mask, but a medical consultation must be provided by a licensed medical professional, and a negative COVID-19 test must also be provided. A release from CPA says those who refuse to follow the CDC guidelines will be removed from the premises. Getting dogs and cats off the streets and into good care. That's the work of the Dog Control Program. Take a look.
Oh boy.
It's the Dog Control Program, a way of clearing the villages on Saipan of stray animals that could potentially become aggressive and injure someone or get injured themselves.
We're trying our best to do what we can to protect our community by all these stray dogs and aggressive dogs that are out. You know, we encounter so much dog bite, and we're not waiting for any dog bite, you know, to come to that point where we're gonna need a medic's assistant or, you know, a person or victim that got bitten to, you know, bring them to the hospital. We don't want to see that.
Mayor David Apateng says the program has been around for years, but it is time to revamp and get these stray animals off the streets.
You know, because that's part of the taking care of the community, because dogs have sometimes carry disease also. So we want to make sure that we take care of the community by preventing those animals that are running around.
Every month, the Dog Control Program employees focus on one village, surveying, capturing, and securing the dogs and cats at the animal shelter in As Perdido.
So all the dogs that are being taken from the community, villages, is brought to the animal shelter. From there, we bring them up to standards for the ones that are adoptional, and there's also some that we donate to our partner, Saipan Cares for Animals. So we work hand in hand with the Saipan Cares. They've been a partner for a few years now.
If your dog is captured as a stray animal, the price to get it out is not so cheap.
First of all, there's the license fee, registration fee, which is $10. It varies from 1 year to 5 year registration. And then also there's a $16 first impoundment fee, and then there's a penalty fee of $20. So minimum $46. And then also there's a $5 boarding fee of how many days your dog is at the shelter.
Mayor Apateng says the animals are well kept, with kennels cleaned out regularly and dogs fed 3 times a day.
We ordered about 58 sacks of dog food, 50 pounds, and that usually lasts for about 3 to 4 months, depending on how much dogs we bring in at the shelter.
If you have concerns about a stray near your residence, contact the mayor's office at 234-6208. Mayor Apateng says the animals are kept at the shelter for 2 weeks before being put down. Adoptions are encouraged by stopping by the animal shelter.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, coming up in the KSPN2 Sports Report, an old sports getting a new board and setting sights on the future.
Merrick Tovis, one of the reasons they've won all their games.
Merrick. Way to go, Merrick.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Mariana's Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Mariana's Trekking. Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Ghost Gym, and today we're going to go over the kettlebell deadlift. Fantastic exercise to build overall strength, particularly in the legs and hips. Remember, we want to make sure that our setup is in good position. If you set up in a bad position, it's not going to look good and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common error setup is obviously a rounded upper back. 2 simple ways of correcting that. All I'm gonna have Vince do here is extend his arms up here, and all he's gonna do is think about reaching long and pushing his hips back. Reach long and push your hips back. So as you can see, he's already in good position. Now all he's gonna do is grab that kettlebell. He's got tension in his legs and in his back. All he's gonna do is just stand up tall, finish with his glutes.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live. Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans. High school boys beach volleyball finally kicked off Saturday at Fiesta Resort. Let's witness the particulars. Welcome to the newest spectator sport to open up since the pandemic. Teams are hungry.
Come and get your breakfast, please. Come on. This is complimenting Child and Nutrition Programs through PSS. Come over, get your nutritious breakfast.
Saturday morning, Fiesta Resort, 10 teams seeing action on 4 courts. All the high schools except Cagman High and Saipan Southern. While high schools have long played indoor volleyball, this is the first beach volleyball organized by PSS. SS2 defeats GCA Eagles. More Knights in the near court. They're leading MHS2 19-15. Oh.
Nice, too close.
Oh, nice.
20 points. There you go. There you go. All right.
Nice win. Nice game. Opening weekend, MCS 1 looking strong. Merrick Tovis, one of the reasons they've won all their games.
Way to go, Merrick.
All right. Their top teams are really on the same level, so it's kind of hard to who's going to be
reset, boys, reset.
That'd be a good tournament when it's all equal.
It's really intense.
This is intense. Steve Balakrishna drops the hammer for the GCA Eagles. The Volleyball Association is helping PSS run this league.
It's really good, actually. A lot of students are showing up, you know, compared to, like, I guess a couple of years ago, right, when we kind of just started. So now it's really lively. We have a lot of teams. I mean, look, MHS has 3 teams right now, you know. MCS, 2 teams, so it's really good. It's a good turnout. And thanks to also Sean Davis, who's our referee organizer. So that's why we have a lot of people actually helping out.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you.
I know you do.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Go-karts, off-roading, and the driving range now open at Marianas Trekking. Go-kart track will be open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays with 50% off when you book online at marianastrekking.com, hours 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Use the promo code HAFA50 to get your discount. Off-roading is open too by reservation. Come on a 90-minute trail ride that is perfect for families. Book online at marianastrekking.com. Golfers, come practice on the driving range. You can even pay online, and we will have the balls waiting for you. Come see us weekends at Marianas Trekking, 323-8735. Do you have the flexibility to work out between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.? At Gold's Gym, we call this off-peak, and it can save you money. Short-term daytime memberships on sale now, just $59 per month, and gets you access to the biggest and cleanest fitness center on island. Get yourself healthy and strong. Check out Gold's Gym today.
Today's high temperature 88, the low 77, humidity 66%. Tomorrow's forecast, mostly cloudy, isolated showers, northeast winds 15 to 25 miles an hour, high 87, low 77. Seas are rough out there, 10 feet. Sunrise 6:45, a high tide at 29 past noon, and then sunset at 6:16. That is your news, your sports, and your weather here on a Wednesday here in the CNMI. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you back here on Friday night.